Hi dear all, welcome to the general training number 3. This training is about excellent client support and services in Happyland and Ableland. And I'm going to start the part 1 training. In part 1, basically is a very basic training on the service. So of course, who is the boss? As a center manager, when you are in charge of the center, of course you are the boss, right? But in actual facts, the boss are basically parents, children. And parents and children, we are known as our client. So the real boss in our organizations are the clients. Who are the clients? They are the parents, and of course they are the children. The decision makers are the parents, but children, they also play an important role in order to influence the decision maker. If the children feel happy about coming to Happyland, enjoy going to Ableland, of course, the chances of the parent to send the children will be higher. But if they are not happy, they cry, they shout, and they are not willing to enjoy the activities in our organizations, and usually parents will make negative decisions where they will stop the children from coming to the organization. So we need to get this right first. Although the clients or the children, basically they have special needs. They don't really speak, no, they don't play, they don't interact, but yet they are important, and we are basically providing our service to serve them. Of course, in our line, in our industry, in Happyland, we provide therapy services. In Ableland, we provide educational services. Yet, our main objective is to serve the children and their family. So when we talk about service, I need all the staff, or I need all the CM, HOD to understand what are the 3 key elements when I talk about service, when I talk about the organization quality, service quality. First, we are talking about our product. We are talking about the actions that we are taken, and of course, to provide the satisfaction. Satisfaction is the key. It is always a main thing that we are looking into, because we want our client to walk away pleased at the result of the transaction. So you look at the word transaction. When we talk about transaction, basically it's referred to the interactions between you and the client, the processes involved when they ask you the questions or they approach you in order for the clarifications, or they are actually questioning their feedback about the services that we are providing. So that is basically referring to the transactions. So we want them to walk out from our center, from our school, not just content, but actually feeling happy and feeling secure. This is the words. We need our client to feel secure by sending their children to our organizations. We need the client to feel that we are reliable. We are reliable in the sense that we are professional, and they can trust us by sending the children for the therapy in Happyland or for the individual education plan in Ableland. So basically, we are moving into just the directions that we are building the relationship with the parents, right? We want them to understand that we are here to really help the children, of course, in a very professional way. The second element, which is very important to all the organizations, no matter is in banking industry, is in construction industry, is in food and beverages industry, clients are the key things. Without clients, of course, there's no way for our organization to survive. There's no way for the management to pay the salary to the respective teachers or the therapists. Without them, we are not going to upgrade ourselves to provide more professional services in the future. In order to maintain this key element, of course, we are always looking at the price, fair price. There's one thing that I would really want to emphasize. In Happyland, our OT services compared to the outside, to the market rate, very much lower. we are lower at least by 40%. For our educational services, compared to the same school, maybe in KL or maybe in another state, we are much more cheaper because we are charging, which is about 550 per month for the education system in Ableland. However, the same thing, if you go to the KL, you will see that some center they are charging 4,000 per month. Some they are charging actually more than this. I used to encounter the charging of 5,000, 8,500 per month. Of course, we are not going to move into these directions because it is going to add extra burdens to the family, and there will be many children they are unable to enjoy the right educations, the suitable educations and therapy. So we always price ourselves which is lower. However, that doesn't mean that we don't provide professional services. So clients, they are important. They need someone to take care of them as well. So we are here to take care of the children. We are here to ensure that the parent get the right answer. We are here to educate the parents for them to really understand what is therapy, what is the right way to deal with the children, to interact with the children. So we are always here to understand their needs. I understand that some parents, they can be quite demanding, they can be quite unreasonable in a way, but we need to understand that the reason why they are demanding, the reason why they are not so reasonable, are basically for the benefit of the children. All the parents, if they are willing to send the children to our organizations for a therapy session, for the schooling session, basically they are hoping that, of course, we can change the children or the children can be cured. But you know and I know that usually we are not using the word cure. There's no such thing as 100% curing, but we are trying to improve the children to close the gap in terms of between the developmental age and their chronological age. So they are the one who needs us to hold their hand. Of course, this one doesn't mean that you have to physically hold their hand. Right? By holding their hand means that providing them with the right support. When they need us, we are always here to help them. So the client here I'm talking about, if you still remember the previous slides, I'm talking about the client is actually made up of parents and children. So we need to take care of the children, we need to understand, be empathy for the parents' needs, right? And we need to give them the right support by providing them with our professional services and of course our concern. So the ability to listen to the client and find out through polite questioning what he or she needs or wants. Questioning is an important skill. If you don't understand, you have to ask questions. But of course, there are many skills in asking questions, which I'm going to cover later on in the other parts of the training. But don't be offended if the question has been asked. In Asian, there are many parents, or not even parents, and many individuals. They are very skeptical. They are very sensitive when being questioned. Questioning doesn't mean that there's no trust in between. Questioning, the main purpose is to clarify the doubt and then to have a further understanding about each other to avoid any unnecessary misunderstanding. The third element is the approach that we use. So as a head of department or as a center manager, of course, you will be the one who is in charge for most of the operations in the center. So what you need to understand is the services that we provide, the clients that we are facing with every day, and the approach that we are using. So what is most important in our organization? Of course, it is the client. When we are dealing with children, the children will be our clients. So they should be the priority during the sessions. So our focus have to be always on the children, not on other issues. So a professional therapist or special educator, they always keep their eyes open and always on the children during every single session. The second point that probably worth discussion is the customer always right? What do you think? Do you think that the customer is always right? A very traditional marketing or management skill will teach the staff or teach the student that the customer is always right. Of course, in service industry, in any single industry, customers are important. But when I say are they always right, it's very subjective. They can be always right depending on what perspective you are looking into. If you were to look at children perspective from the viewpoint of the parents as a parents, where they care about the children, whatever they say, whatever they do, because they basically really care and love their children. So there's nothing wrong about it. When they are right, doesn't mean that we are wrong. They are right and we can be right as well, because we are looking at the problems, we are looking at the questions from different perspectives. So the two main tasks of successful client relationship are to communicate and to develop that relationships. To communicate, it involves a lot of questioning skill, which will be covered later on as well. So questioning is a very important pathway in order to reach common and mutual understanding. So I will stop here for this part 1 training. Think about it. We talk about the 3 elements. We talk about the service as a conclusion. We talk about the client, and we talk about the approach. These 3 should be interrelated. They are linked together. And we talk about the importance of questioning. Of course, there are many skills to questions. There are many different approaches to questions. But first, as a CM, as a HOD, you really have to look into, are we providing the right services, the professional services to our client? Are we using the right approach to deal with our clients? Client here referring to both parents and of course the children. So think about that and think about, are we questions enough in order to get more understanding, more information about the children? Are we questioning ourselves enough? Are we really doing the right jobs? Are we really professional enough to help them? Alright, I'll stop here. Think about it. I'll continue with part 2 later.